Denise Ramon, long time no see. I think you still have a Hawaiian tan there, do you?
A tad, a little bit.
Yeah, you got some color. Hello, Eric. I almost said hello, Elisa. What the hell? Hello, Eric. I love you.
Erik says, hello, Mama. He's just giving you just the biggest hug, the way he's doing that. He just says hello. He's excited for us three to be together.
I know, because it has been a hot minute.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to, even though it's been a while here, talk about the Astroworld tragedy. I will tell you a little bit about Astroworld from my standpoint personally. It was anyway a huge amusement park, and Waterworld was right next to it. And I took my kids there all the time because idle hands is the workshop of the devil. But I also used it as a weapon for them because there was a time where all the kids were in the back seat and they would just fight. Oh, he touched me. Oh, he's in my space, that kind of thing. And I just, just couldn't stand it. So I decided to set them up for failure. So I said, all right, guess what? We're going to go to Astroworld. And they couldn't believe it, right? Usually we kind of plan these a few days in advance. Yay. All right, everybody in the car backed out. And then I stopped after I was out of the driveway and said, wait, but I want you to know that if there's any bickering, then we're going to turn the car around and go right back. Well, of course, 10 minutes in, there were some squabbles. And so I just started to turn the car around and they were just like, what? Actually, I hated going to Astroworld because it was always in the summer because school was out and it was so freaking hot to go from the parking lot, which is near the Astrodome, and walk over that bridge, long bridge, Astroworld. I hated it. So it was, got out of that one. Another thing that I want to talk about is I remember I have this life, I think it's Lifetime Life, whatever, book of all the the momentous photographs of some year, whatever. And I remember I was so horrified by the one with the soccer stadium thing where people just kept coming in, and the people that were the first part of that got squeezed, and you see these blue faces up against the wire mesh or whatever. I can't remember what kind of thing it was, but it was just awful, horrible. It so affected me. And then so this Astroworld tragedy really has affected me a lot. So did you ever go to Astroworld?
I went twice, once for a concert and once to ride the rides. And
okay.
And that was so long ago.
Yeah, long. The first question someone asked, why did it take 45 minutes to stop the show?
Well, Erik says because of the momentum the audience had going, and you can't discern this is a mother's cry for help, and this is lovely music. He says,
well, this is like, yay, wow, that kind of thing.
You can't discern. And he says the reactions that the people were hollering, you don't know if they're banging to the music like the ones over here. And Erik is saying there was one person that was hollering and telling them to stop, but Erik says they don't hear.
No,
the people on the stage don't hear what's up front. Like because that music is projecting outwards. He says you don't hear that. He said so. Well, really 45 minutes into it, he says wow. It's amazing that it stopped even then with 45 minutes.
With all that sound and chaos.
Because of the momentum. Had it happened, he said, in the very beginning, it wouldn't have taken so long, but the momentum was already going by that time.
And it's so hard to discern frantic energy from excited.
Correct, because he says it all looks the same when you're on the stage.
Happy chaos and unhappy chaos. Travis Scott, was he aware, and I never heard of him, aware that people were being injured and just chose not to stop it?
Erik says no, he did not know. And that's what some people want to believe, that he did know. But Erik says he did not know.
I was wondering
But
if maybe that he saw some people like whatever and said, the authorities will, well,
Erik says he did not know.
did not know at all. All right.
No, had he been aware, Erik says, had he been aware of what was going on, he would have hollered on the microphone for paramedics or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
But he didn't know. Erik's shown me he really has a big heart. He looks
Oh.
pretty,
Okay.
I don't, kind of,
Scary.
I don't know, different. Yeah, scary would be a good word for
Okay.
some of us because he's tattooed in that. But that's just artwork. Erik says it's how he looks at that. Has no reflection on who he
No
is. as a
gangs.
person.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Did any of the coordinators, managers, staff, officers present know what was going on during the time the concert had continued? I think you kept playing 40 minutes after the incidents started rising. So in other words, Travis Scott didn't know, but did any of the coordinators, managers, staff, or officers know?
Erik says things started to unravel that something might be wrong towards the end of that 40 minutes, 45 minutes,
Okay.
something. And so, yes, but you don't want to be the one to blow the whistle in case it's not that bad.
Oh, so there was that going on?
That's what Erik is telling me.
And how much time elapsed for that?
Erik is showing me about 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, God. But maybe it was like, well, somebody's going to take care of it. Somebody's already handling it. Is that kind of thing too?
Erik says it's more of
Like a, what do you call it? A bystander?
it can't be that bad. It can't be as
Oh,
frantic
okay.
because Erik says you got to remember, and a lot of the people there are under some kind of influence,
Oh, boy, yeah.
chemical influence.
Yeah.
So you don't know, he says, so you got all that tied in it. He says, and the people that are running the concerts, the people who are affiliated with all, they know that these people are coming in under the influence.
Yeah.
Other than alcohol, they got other substance in them. So it's hard to discern and stuff like that. And Erik says it's just it was definitely a tragic accident.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
So was there a bystander effect with the staff, coordinators, et cetera, where it's like, somebody's got to take, or probably already taken care of this, so I don't need to, like when somebody's has collapsed in the street and everybody's sort of being beaten up and there's the audience gathering and everybody always seems to assume this it's been taken care of or is being taken care of. Was there that going on too?
Erik says there was a lot. Well, when they realized what was going on, fear kicked in. People were frantic, and it was more of like one of their biggest fears because Erik says they did not have enough security
Oh,
for that event. They just didn't.
well, did they have too many people for that building too? I mean, did they break the
Erik
fire
said-
marshal rules for?
Well, he said they didn't break the fire marshal rules, but and Erik is just saying the code of ethic was not taken serious, not put into place, and he's just saying for the magnitude of what that music brings, not that it's a bad thing or a good thing,
Yeah.
but the magnitude of the energy that it brings. There should have been more precautions made. And he says, this isn't the first or second time, and he's not referring to something that Travis Scott did because they're really pinning it on like he's done this before, like he's promoting this. And Erik says he's not promoting this. He's promoting the energy of the audience, because when the audience is hyped up, it helps his performance and it helps
Oh, yeah.
everybody's performance. So, but it's happened before, and now people are going to do things real different.
So, was it too many people for the space, or was it just because it was compacted forward toward the stage that people got crushed?
Erik says it was too many people up front, and it was, and because of that, it was too compacted.
Oh, okay, so the latter.
They didn't allow any space in there.
Okay. Why did people rush toward the stage?
He said they're like cattle. They're following people. They go to the front because somebody's like, oh, look, and then they run and they don't even know why that person's going to the front. And he says it's like they're like cattle. They just follow each other.
Was
They
it a
don't
certain song or that got them excited and wanting to be closer to Travis? Or certain
Yeah,
words?
yeah. And Erik says that, and they want to be noticed. They want to be seen. They, it's just,
Oh,
he says when he goes, Mom, when you're young like that and stuff, it's like it's all fun about being close to the stage. And as he's saying that, I remember way back when concert tickets were $5. So that'll tell you how long
right.
ago. And that was like seeing people like Elton John and those type people back then.
Yeah.
You wanted to be close to the stage because you thought you were cool, you thought it was fun, and just
And maybe
being
Travis would wink and wave at you. Yeah, right.
yeah.
Was there negligence involved? I guess we already broached that because there wasn't enough security and
Erik is
crowd
saying,
control. Really.
Erik says there was a lot of poor planning.
A lot of what?
Poor planning.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's like he's telling me, and I apologize. You probably hear my dog. I
I
apologize.
know my dogs are growling at them.
Erik says it's kind of like they anticipated a banquet for 50 people and 300 showed up.
Oh, wow. One of the victims of the tragedy was a 9-year-old boy. Will laws change to protect children at future music events or any kind of events that involve big crowds?
Erik says that is there's in the making and stuff like that, of what's about allowing minors in like that. Minors not being with somebody who's over the age of 18 or 21, and Erik is saying 18 or 21 depends on if alcohol is being served or not.
Yeah.
So there's definitely going to be some changes. And when he says that, I feel like the arenas are not going to allow a general admission where you stand at the front in that big of an event. And because Astroworld, that property is huge. That's a lot of acres. That's a lot of acres.
Yes, absolutely.
So
is there something wrong with the property, like ancient burial grounds, a lot of bad mojo happening, curses, black magic in the Middle Ages? I don't know, anything like that?
Erik says no, but they're really, it has to build about revenue, wanting to create a new place to have concerts and make money, and they're trying to find a way to make money and hold these nice events without having to build a brick and mortar type environment.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know anything about the setup they had, but so the land doesn't have any bad mojo, like open portals that let out bad negative entities or a lot of bloodshed, like tribal wars or anything like that?
Erik says no, not that created that. It's just not created that. Erik says, this was all divinely designed.
Well, I'm going to ask about that in a sec. A lot of people felt like they were being injected like a needle in their arm or back. Is that true, or is it imagination?
Erik says no, it wasn't imagination.
What was it? Was it one person, two people, more than two people that are doing this?
Erik says there was a few.
Was that something kind of not uncommon with these events?
Erik says, this kind of stuff didn't happen in the past, but people would put stuff in your drinks or
Yeah.
You'd smoke a joint and there wouldn't be just pot on it. There'd be something else on it
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And so, but this kind of stuff, he says there were some sick efforts there at the concert.
What did they inject? Maybe they did different things between one to the other.
Erik is saying some kind of what would you call it? Not a stimulant. What's the opposite of the stimulant?
A downer of some
Yeah,
sort?
something of that, like a muscle relaxer type stuff.
Oh, okay.
Something like,
Okay.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Jeez. But nothing like heroin or
No, and Erik makes me feel like it's more of like a animal tranquilizer type, something like
like
that.
ketamine? Oh, it's okay.
He's not saying that. Yeah, but
There's so many types, I guess. I'm not a vet. All right, so I guess along the same lines, the attendees seemed to be in a trance-like state when they were charging the stage. Why is that?
Because the music, he says, they're all
Hypnotized
focused
by
on, yeah, like, they're all into the music. They're all hyped up. They were hyped up, the day of going, and and he says Travis Scott puts on a good show. If you like his kind of music, he puts on a really good show. I don't really know what kind of music he plays.
I have no idea.
I'm thinking it's rap per se.
Okay.
And Erik says that these they love this. They get going, and not all, but a lot of them, have a few drinks before they go or digest some other type of substance, and they just, and you get that going with the music, and then they want to be with everybody else, they want to be a part of the band, part of the group. So
I see.
they get closer, he's telling me.
Do you think that there will be laws preventing people who are obviously intoxicated from entering these events?
Well, Erik says there's already a law, something like that anyway, about being intoxicated and coming in.
So that's part of negligence too. They knew people were entering that were, but hey, it's cha-ching, cha-ching.
Exactly.
All right. Did the lyrics have any subliminal messages, the music that hypnotized people, made them into that trance-like state and encouraged them to do things like rush the stage?
Erik says not in the sense that question like is insinuating like it's something that Travis Scott did to bring to like mind control. Not that.
Oh, okay.
But it's not anything like that. But it does put him in a, music puts you in an altered state when you're real into it, and and you just want to be a part of it. And Travis Scott, Erik says, is a really big player, musician. People really like him.
Basically not subliminal where you can't hear them, but like rush to the stage, be in a trance or nothing like that. Okay.
But Erik says, but the words in that, people aren't even really listening to the words. He says it's not even like that. And I remember when Kanye West went to Lakewood Church a couple years ago or 3 years ago, and my daughter got tickets to that. They were supposed to be free, but people bought them and then were selling them. But she was fortunate; she got hers for I think $10.
Wow!
But it was kind of crazy with Kanye West there at Lakewood Church. Yeah. Wow. But they were heavily secure with HPD officers and other security at that place. Yes, it was very well. They had a lot of security.
Okay. This is kind of the same, but maybe this will evoke some other thoughts, Erik. Is Travis Scott responsible for the action of this tragedy? He kept singing while the crowd was being crushed. But again, he didn't know, I guess.
Erik said he didn't know.
Should he be held responsible legally or criminally at all?
Erik says the responsibility is going to be distributed.
Okay.
And there's something in it for everybody to learn from.
Okay.
Because there's something.
Including him?
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely him.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Apparently there were some demons on an Instagram reel. Is that really true, or were they photoshopped in?
Erik says that that was photoshopped in. That's there. No, he says
Okay.
no. That was.
Was it a form of devil worshiping going on with the rhythm of the music, or the music at all?
Erik says not by Travis Scott's account. No.
Well, and somebody wants to know, is he a part of a dark cult? And was there some ritual being performed?
Erik says no. He has
No
a
to
big,
both?
no, Erik is, he said from the beginning, it has me feel Travis Scott has a big heart.
Oh,
He really-
good. Okay.
Yeah.
Does this event have any connection or relation to any dark spiritual practices the Kardashian family takes part in? First of all, does the Kardashian family even take part in dark spiritual practices?
It goes not in how that person's asking the question, you know.
Okay, so the event does not have any connection or relation to dark spiritual practices, right?
No, Erik says, they may not be on the devotion, spiritual, religious side, like a lot or whatever he's saying,
Right.
or how, whatever. But Erik says people are wanting to find something evil, something really bad.
Yeah, because it's so awful. So people want to blame it on evil, but that's, well, here's another one. Was it a sacrifice of souls as an offering to dark entities that made them rich and famous? In other words, make a deal with the devil, you make me rich and famous, and I'm going to sacrifice some souls here.
Well, no, they didn't sacrifice souls to make it rich. But Erik says they like jumped on the skirt tails of their father and this whatever stuff went on and put it into a platform, and we watched them. And that's what.
Wait, oh. Okay, well, I guess now I'm talking, well, maybe I'm talking about Travis.
Okay, about
You're
Travis.
talking about the Kardashians.
Yeah, okay, about
Oh,
Travis.
okay, got it.
Travis, I don't, Erik says he didn't grow up with a whole lot of anything.
Okay,
So he put together what he did have, and that was a voice.
okay.
And he's very creative in his writing. So I guess he must write his own songs or whatever. Now, could they be more with white light shined on it and more, more like
With love and light.
something like what John Lennon would write? He said, of course. But that's not what's selling his music.
Yeah, it's not his style. Is he a young soul or an old soul?
He's not young, but he sure did pick a crash course in this life.
Well, I'm wondering, did he have another life similar to this one that where something like this happened?
Erik says he had another life of being very wealthy, very rich,
Okay.
and very selfish.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a very humbling experience. So maybe that's why he had to have this happen.
Yes.
Was it a spiritual contract for the collective, for Travis, for anybody?
Well, for all, but there's stuff in it for all.
The victims, yeah.
They are helping this to come in because it's not just one thing. He was playing music and there was a tragedy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other avenues and participations that allowed this to happen. And this is about going inward. Erik says about going inward and looking. And he says, a lot of it, there's some of course, it's ego driven. You want to be, if you'd rather have 100,000 people at your concert than 20,000. So, you do whatever and you rev it up. So to get that momentum going. So it goes from one concert venue to another one and another one. But then you also have other people who help get all of this going behind the scenes people.
Yeah.
He says that it's all about money.
So this is kind of like a lesson about greed,
Erik says, yeah, absolutely. It's about
caring
greed.
about other people over the mighty dollar.
It's about greed. It's about, he says, you know, it has to go with not feeling like there's enough, because if you felt like there was enough, you would have saw to it that there was enough security, there was enough paramedics on the side for that large of an audience. For
But that costs money. It costs more money.
Correct, correct. But now
Okay,
it's
did
really
Travis
gonna-
Scott make that part of that? Was he part of that decision making? Yeah, let's scale back on security. Let's,
No,
Okay.
because he has other people that handle that for him.
okay. How do you think this will affect his life, Erik, in general, but also as a father?
Erik says it's really changing him, and Erik says I feel like Erik says he's probably going to have some outside help, counseling of some
Yeah.
sort to help.
Hope so.
I also feel like it has kind of halted on whatever kind of substance he likes to digest. So let's say he likes to drink 3 mixed drinks a night, cut it down to 1. If he
Yeah,
did any kind of inhaling or whatever, probably
yeah.
this, and it really it's making him question things within him own self.
Really?
Yeah, and this is the good part of it, because
Yeah.
when we have a tragic thing that happens to us, what do? We go inward for most of us, and there's a lot being shifted, and Erik says, you know, he'll bounce back, but not to the same person he was.
Oh,
And
yeah.
is it going to
Will he
cost
continue
him
to sing?
financially?
Oh, go ahead. Financially?
Erik says, yeah. Erik says, yes, he will continue to sing because that's his life. But it's going to, I think even the lyrics to his music, how Erik has shown me, all that's going to shift and change.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, all of that's going to shift and change.
Okay.
And financially, it's going to, you know, he's going to feel that emptiness, you know, and but
Yeah.
that's how we pay attention, a lot of us, is when you start messing with our wallet.
Yeah, that's true. But what about his kid or his kids? I don't know. How will it affect his life being their father? I don't know if how many, or if just one, whatever.
Erik says it's really showed him how fragile life is, because that 9-year-old that died, that really has taken a toll on him.
Oh. All right.
And because some of the people don't want his money to pay for, didn't want his money to pay for the funeral, that really disturbed him.
Really? I didn't know that. Wow. Anything else about the karmic lessons? The most important thing to me is that we learn from this as a collective, as individuals. Tell us what we can learn from this, beside the greed and the sanctity of human life, and caring about that sanctity above and beyond the almighty dollar, and being more cautious, etc. Don't do drugs. Anything else?
Well, Erik says it's about creating a safe environment to hold things, you know, and really paying attention to the laws that we have for safety
Right.
and stuff. Because Erik says we do hold concerts where there's 100,000 people, 200,000, and this stuff doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that make this happen, and you can't be scarce on that. And Erik is saying that it's, you know, this has been a big lesson for Eric doesn't want to give names, but the music venue people
Yeah.
or whatever, because this isn't their first incident, and and you can't turn a cheek to something like this, and it's like
That's true.
people.
So I was trying to text my husband to be quiet. He's on the phone, so loud.
But people knew something like this was going to happen eventually, but nobody listened.
It's too bad. Well, anything else you want to say?
Eric is saying, this is about making things safe for us.
Yeah. Okay.
In all ways.
Okay.
He says, even though there were, I think, 10 or 11 lives that were taken, but a lot of injured, he said that really wasn't as many that could have happened.
Yeah.
And they really got to see how out of hand things got.
Yeah. I agree. And it's also a time for a lot of people and an opportunity for all of us to look inward and reflect on our values, our priorities, etc. So
yeah, I'm sure some of those parents are thinking, I wish I would have never let him go. I wish I would have never let him go. But had they had any kind of inclination,
of course it would have.
Of the setup,
yeah. Oh yeah.
They would have said no.
Yeah.
It was the setup.
Okay. Yeah. I guess that's it. Thank you,
Okay.
Denise. You guys check her out. Wonderful channel. Great healer. DeniseRamon.com. I was going to say Channeling Erik. Also check out Channeling Erik and check out DeniseHealer.com. That was really cool about the lady who all of a sudden her arteries are unblocked. Wasn't that awesome?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
With scalar energy, man. And I want to thank you, Erik, and the rest of the Divine team for helping with that. Anyway, all right.
He thanks you. He thanks you.
Thank you. I love you all.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Take care.
you. You too.